Newzone.com. Just got a Monoprice Mini Delta printer to mess with. It wasn't working for a bit. I wound up upgrading to the community firmware. That didn't work. Upgraded to version 44 of the stock firmware, and it seems to be working. I'm actually printing a protognome from Protopasta. I need some more proto filament. I have to get some. But it's printing in Graftmilk gray filament on this Monoprice Mini Delta. I'm going to probably print a little print holder on top for it. Right now I'm using this standalone print holder for the filament. Not actually working as well as I'd like it to. There's one that I saw that was on Thingiverse that goes on top of the printer. That might be better. So, but the moment I'm using this, it is working. I'm using Cura 4.6.1, and with version 44 of the Monoprice Mini Delta firmware, it actually is printing. See how it goes. I've always loved deltas. This is a really small delta. If you look at my JG Maker, no, it was JG Aurora, JG Maker A5, compared to the Mini Delta, it's a little wee printer, but it is cool. I'm going to mod it a bit. Like I said, I'm getting an extruder for it. I had a connection on that. I'm getting a glass borosilicate bed for it, which is cool. But it is working. Right now I'm printing Graftmilk gray, the protognome from Protopasta. I have to order some more Protopasta filament. I love Protopasta, especially the scented stuff. But it seems to be working. It wasn't working at first. I've been messing with it for like an hour. I did order a power supply off of Amazon for it, the 10 amp, because everybody says the 10 amp works better. It came with the 5 amp, 9 volt, no 12 volt, 5 amp, but everybody says the 10 amp works a lot better. Once I get that, I may upgrade the firmware to the community firmware, but I may not. But right now it's running with the 5 amp power supply. It's cool. Some people move the little screen to the top, but I can live with it at the bottom because once it's printing, it doesn't matter that much. But it's a cool little printer. It's small. It's a Delta. I'm not exactly sure how big it'll print, but I'm going to take a look at that. But I got it for basically the price of shipping. I'm a Delta lover. I probably have to oil it. But it's pretty cool. We're getting some more Deltas down the road, but this little wee one's cool. It's all metal, so it's not... It reminds me of my Hatchbox Alpha I had years ago, but it was much, much bigger. So it's a baby version of the Hatchbox Alpha. It is all metal. It's pretty cool. Like I said, I ordered a borosilicate glass plate for it, so when it comes in the mail, I'm going to put that on there. I've also got the ezstruder extruder I'm going to try on this as well. I'm also getting a Lotmax SC10 from Lotmax. Thanks to Lotmax. We're just going to test and review it. These are not sponsored. These are all just, all I've gotten is the printers. We help education, autism sometimes. So I'll probably wind up giving some printers away at the end of the year. We're getting some more to mess with to review. Right now I have the JG Maker A5S and the little baby Mini Delta 3. I'm not Delta, yeah, it's a 3P Mini from Monoprice. It's a Mini Delta. I've always been a Delta fan. The only issue I've seen is the bed, because I've heard because the 5 amp power supply, the bed doesn't heat as well as it needs to. But with the 10 amp power supply I'm getting this week, it ought to do better. There is a custom firmware you can try, but I had some issues with that. I tried running that, it didn't work. So now I have just the stock version 44 firmware. It's working fine. So it seems to be the right firmware because it's printing. I'm printing the protognome at 60% just to see how it does. It's printing pretty fast considering. There's a little touch. It's not a touch screen. It's just a screen with buttons. A touch screen would be cool, but it seems to work. The little feller is tiny, but it seems to work. But with a Delta, you can print pretty big with a Delta, even though it's tiny. I think it'll print 5 by 5 by 5, I'm thinking. The bed is 110 millimeters, the printable area, because I ordered a borosilicate glass for it from Amazon, and it was 110 centimeters diameter. So it's, I think it's like, what's that, like 5 inches, 4.8 or something. So, but it is working. It wasn't working at first. I was all worried. Upgraded the firmware, did some this and that, cleaned it, and boom, it's printing. It's Dave Berkowitz in Las Vegas, Henderson, Nevada. My JG Aurora is also printing. It's actually printing a part for the little feller. It's like a redirect for the filament. I think once you put the filament on top, which I'm going to put a top mount for it, then this is a little adapter that can help redirect the filament. So he's helping him, or she's helping him, whatever. We're also getting the lot max. So we're going to have 3 printers when it all comes down. I may move the 3P over here, clear the space for it. It's really tiny, so it shouldn't be a problem. I don't know if they call it. It says 3P on the printer, but everybody seems to be calling it the Delta Mini. But on the front of it, it says 3P. Actually, it's pretty impressive. If they had a bigger one, that'd be cool. I've always been a Delta fan. If I ever had money, I'd buy a seemecnc Artemis or something. But I keep getting printers to review, so the JG maker sent us this A5S. So far, I'm really impressed with the A5S. We had some problems with it. I fixed the problems. Upgraded this one. I upgraded the firmware to the community Marlin 2.0 firmware. It's working beautifully. That one's running. I think it's a version of Marlin as well. It's like a community version, but I think I'm just running the base. I was running the community. I went back to version 0.44 or 44 from Monoprice. It's working beautifully with that. So I made it stick with that. Sometimes it's not broken when I fix it. This one was broken, but when I put the community firmware in it, boom, it's printing beautifully. I printed some other things on this yesterday. I printed some parts over there, back there for the Monoprice 3P Delta Mini. I really don't know if the Delta Mini is a description or if Delta Mini is its name. But today with TechNewsNow.com, we're talking about the Monoprice Delta Mini. It is working. Has some learning curve there to do for about a half an hour to an hour, but updated the firmware to I think it's 0.44 or 44, and it's working. There's a 0.45, but it does something to the steps, which this printer seems to work with the 0.44, which it has the 1/8 motor steps, because they said that if it works with the 1/8, you don't need the 4.5. So this is the 44 firmware. It seems to be working. And it does auto-calibrate and everything. So I paid like $15 for it. So for $15 is definitely worth it. For $179 that most people are paying for, it's also definitely worth it. Monoprice is cool. I met them at CES a couple years ago, briefly. And I'm a Delta lover. I'd love those IVI 3D printers if I had extra money for one. But right now I have a JG Aurora that we got from JG A5S. We have a Mini Delta, which I bought, technically paid for it, most of it. Didn't pay much for it. And then I got the Lot Max SC10 that we got given to us, so we're getting this week. I've heard good things about the Lot Max. It's very much like a Creality CR20, but a little bit bigger. And I've heard it's really, really good. So when that comes, we'll have 3. Then there were 3. And that's probably all we need for everything we need to do. I may print some more community things with it. I tried printing on this one, but it died. Now it's back. I'm going to print some more face shields and stuff to give away. And some more things for the community for the coronavirus. This little feller, I might be able to do some stuff on it too now that it works. But we're going to have 3 running. So once we get them all up and running, we will maybe make some more masks and face shields and stuff too. This is Dave with TechNewsNow.com in Las Vegas, Henderson, Nevada, signing out. Bye-bye.